If you're out there trying to buy a home right now, you know it can feel like a serious uphill battle. But what if I told you the tide might be turning? Well, a new report from Zillow just dropped, and it's pinpointed the top cities where buyers are finally starting to get the upper hand. So let's break it down. Where are they, and what does it actually mean for you?
For the last few years, house hunting has felt less like a search for a home and more like a full contact sport, right? There's the constant stress, the bidding wars that go into crazy numbers, that feeling that you're always just a little bit behind. It is absolutely exhausting, and I'm sure a lot of you have felt that exact same frustration. But here's the good news. In certain parts of the country, that whole dynamic, it's already starting to shift. This analysis nails down the specific markets where buyers are regaining control. We're talking more time, more options, and yeah, even more room to negotiate. So the big question is, where are these magical places?
All right, so which city takes the crown? What's the single most buyer-friendly market in the entire country, according to this data? The answer, well, it might just surprise you.
It's Indianapolis, Indiana. And look, this isn't just some random guess. Zillow's ranking comes from a really powerful mix of three key things: affordability, market stability, and a landscape that's just less competitive. So let's dig into what really makes Indy number one.
Okay, first things first, the price. The typical home value in Indianapolis is just over $283,000. Now, in a world where prices have just skyrocketed, that number, well, it represents a level of accessibility that's become incredibly rare in a major city. It feels possible again.
And here's probably the most important part. In Indianapolis, if you're earning the median income, you'd be spending about 26.9% of it on your monthly mortgage. That is comfortably below the 30% affordability line that all the experts talk about. And what that really means is more money in your pocket at the end of the month. And finally, let's talk about stability. Home values in Indy? They're growing at a nice steady 2.9% a year. This shows a healthy, stable market, not one of those crazy bubbles. It really suggests that a home there is a solid long-term investment without all the wild price swings that cause so much stress. So what does buyer-friendly actually mean when we get down to it? Let's unpack the formula Zillow used, because honestly, understanding the logic here can help you in your own home search, no matter where you happen to be looking. Okay, so the foundation of this whole analysis is that 30% rule. You can think of it as the golden rule of home ownership. It's the financial benchmark that really separates a mortgage that you can manage from one that puts a strain on your entire life. Staying under that line it's key to your financial health. This quote from Zillow's senior economist, Dr. Orphy Devungi, really gets to the heart of it. He says it's about having room to breathe. Think about that. Less competition means you're not rushed, you have more time to think, and, this is huge, you've got more leverage when you sit down at the negotiating table. So Indianapolis might have clinched the number one spot, but it is definitely not the only city on this list. Let's take a quick tour of the full top 10 and see where else these buyer-friendly trends are popping up.
As you can see, this isn't just a phenomenon in one little corner of the country. The top 10 list is spread all over the South, the Midwest, the Mid-Atlantic. You've got major hubs in there like Atlanta and Miami, right alongside cities like Pittsburgh and Detroit. It just goes to show that affordability and opportunity can be found in a whole bunch of different places.
This table really makes the numbers pop. I mean, just look at Pittsburgh, a typical home value under $218,000 and a mortgage that eats up just 22.2% of income. That's incredible. You can see Pittsburgh, Memphis, Oklahoma City, Detroit, and Indy all fall nicely under that 30% line. But then you get to Miami.
And wow, this comparison just lays it all out, doesn't it? In Pittsburgh, you're spending just over a fifth of your income on a mortgage. But in Miami, which, believe it or not, still makes the top 10 list because of other factors like more homes coming up for sale, that number skyrockets to nearly half of your income. It's a powerful reminder that buyer-friendly is a really complex equation, and price is just one piece of that puzzle.
Now, here's an interesting little pro tip from the report. It highlights what they call a winter deal. Back in December, cities like Atlanta, Miami, and Jacksonville actually saw their month-over-month prices stay flat or even dip a little. So this seasonal quiet spell, when you pair it with their solid long-term growth, can create this perfect little window to find a great deal. So, what's the big takeaway from all this? Well, for anyone out there who has felt completely priced out or just discouraged by this market, the message here is that your window of opportunity might finally be opening up.
And we'll leave you with this final thought from Dr. Devungwi, which I think just sums it all up perfectly. He calls this a good entry point. Think about it. You get the benefit of today's calmer prices in these markets, but you also have the confidence of expected growth in the future. It's that strategic sweet spot that so many patient homebuyers have been waiting for.
And so, we end with a question for you. When you look at this map and you think about all this data on affordability and stability and competition, the opportunities are clearly out there. The only real question left is, could your entry point into homeownership be right here in one of these cities?